The Unit 1 reactor on 3 Mile Island set to open in 2027. The U.S. Energy Secretary here to talk about it today. Guys, if we can actually head back out to our live shot, I just want to show you this procession that is now coming down Concord Road. Unfortunately, this is one of the deadliest days Pennsylvania police have seen this century. We have not seen anything like this since 2009 when 3 officers in Pittsburgh were shot and killed. I was actually here when this happened with our sports director, Ali Barubi. She pushed me out of the way because a car was just barreling down this road. But the damage here in Perry County is also significant. This was a road, and you can see that now half of it is completely collapsed. 4 candidates, 2 open seats, and Democrats got them both. Douglas tells me he is a new voice for a new generation. Here you see this car. This does not count. It's a good start, but it's not enough.
And you can use that tool on my car, right?
You know what, James? This is borrowed, so I will have to ask the owner if I can use it on your car. Fire crews quite literally had to cut through this metal gate just to get inside and then break down the doors to get into that building. What's your take on that, and what's most important to you as a voter? That is because it could have massive implications on the balance of power in the Senate. I have 2 pairs of socks on, 3 pairs of pants, multiple shirts, and like 80% of my toes. So we're doing pretty well out here. Yeah, guys, the darker shades of blue on this map, the higher the risk is. And you can see all of the mid-state counties, especially Adams County, are in that dark blue now. This is a very important race to both Republicans and Democrats. President Trump often veered off course discussing immigration in the Middle East while attacking his political enemies. Valerie, the Department of Government Efficiency has laid off thousands of federal workers. This state program has the same name and the same idea, but Mastriano says it's different. Good evening, I'm Sarah Willson. Thanks for joining us. Maduro is now on U.S. soil, expected to make his first court appearance in the coming days. The indictment alleges a 25-year conspiracy, accusing him of flooding the U.S. with cocaine and corrupting his own country. A retention race that usually goes unnoticed is getting a lot of notice this election season. State Representative Seth Grove is resigning amid criticism over his additional job. We turn now to Chief Meteorologist Eric Finkenbinder live from his home studio with the forecast. The Trump administration said today it will withhold SNAP food aid from recipients in most Democratic-controlled states starting next week. Good morning, I'm Sarah Willson in for Kayla, and we got Hazel alongside us and meteorologist Jackson Chastain. She had to make her debut. I mean, come on.
I didn't expect her to. Well, hey.
Come here.
What a good dog.
What a way to start your Saturday morning. SEPTA is public transportation for Philadelphia and its surrounding counties. It is the largest mass transit agency in the state, and it has a $212 million deficit. That is very true. Pam Gay is the York County coroner, and she has poured her heart into serving her community for over a decade. President Trump is threatening steep tariffs on Canadian lumber and dairy products, which could begin as early as next week. We do not know exactly what happened or the condition of the president, but if you take a live look at your screen, you can see hundreds of people now leaving that convention. Cody Balmer will spend 25 to 50 years behind bars. But the grief Governor Shapiro says he and his family bear will last a lifetime.
I've carried with me this enormous sense of guilt. Guilt that doing this job that I love so much has put our children's lives at risk.
The governor, candid and emotional, speaking just hours after 38-year-old Balmer pled guilty to all charges, including attempted murder and aggravated arson.
It's especially hard to know that he tried to burn our family to death while we slept.
The surveillance video is damning. It shows Balmer, after lurking outside and scaling the 7-foot fence, walk up to the first window and break it open with a sledgehammer. Moments later, flames. Less than 30 seconds pass. Balmer breaks another window and this time enters inside.
And he went in and tried to find a way further into the residence, and when he couldn't get directly into where people were sleeping, he threw another Molotov cocktail.
That moment also captured. You can see Balmer try to kick the doors down to where the governor and his family were sleeping. Ultimately unsuccessful, he walks away. No sense of urgency. 22 people, including 8 children who were celebrating Passover, now inside the burning building.
I know those videos are chilling. They've been haunting me for months. I've been trying to unsee them for the last 6 months.
The motive was political.
I'd like to apologize. Governor Josh Shapiro needs to know that Cody Balmer will not take part in his plan.
It was triggered towards the actions of the governor because he was Jewish and because he blamed him for the actions of the state of Israel in Gaza. And he said, you know, even if I have to take a life. I'm not crazy about having to take a life, but I will if it's because of the millions endangered.
In the courtroom, Balmer sat silent, often with his head down, his wrists and his ankles shackled. The only time he spoke was to address the judge, the DA, and his attorneys. A statement from his family read aloud. He was described as a loving father, partner, and son who developed mental health issues and suffered from manic episodes.
It didn't rise to the level of insanity.
His family says Balmer stopped taking his medication and that they went to the police before the attack happened, saying, quote, "We were desperate for help in the hours and days ahead of this." But ultimately, Balmer wasn't deemed a danger to himself or others. He did not apologize in court, but his family did on his behalf, saying his actions cannot be excused, only understood because of the mental health struggles he faces. We're live outside the governor's residence. Sarah Willson, ABC 27 News. Alicia, back to you.
What was done to me, I hope it's done to you.
Words said in the courtroom during sentencing, and to me during our interview.
What he said in the courtroom, I don't think he showed any remorse. He showed no emotion at all.
She's talking about Odin Rathnam, a world-renowned violinist and former Harrisburg Symphony concertmaster who last month was sentenced to 15 to 30 years in prison for child sexual abuse.
He's taken a lot from me. Just my innocence as a child, he's taken away from me.
She doesn't want to share her name or show her face. You ready?
I think so.
Neither does her mother, who also spoke with us.
There was a reason he chose to start at the age he started at,
which was 6 years old.
And I remember I was asleep in my bed, and I remember waking up to him on top of me. And I just remember being in intense, excruciating pain. And then I remember going to the bathroom afterwards and just seeing blood. My sister had her menstrual cycle then, and I would try to hide it with pads just because I didn't know what to do.
How often did that happen?
Pretty frequently. I would say probably 4 to 5 times a week. And it would happen when he would come home late at night, when he would drink to excess, which happened pretty much nightly.
Often when her mother, who had been married to Rathnam, wasn't home.
My mom, she was in school. She was working night shifts. She was gone most of the time. She had no idea what was happening.
After about 7 years of marriage, her mother divorced him in 2014. Rathnam left, but the abuse continued. She and her brother visited him in Fort Hunter.
My brother had a pretty strong relationship with him. You know, I didn't want to hinder that relationship with my brother and him, so I, kept that separate.
Until last May, when she, states away, came forward and told her mom.
I was terrified just because I didn't know how she would react.
After she told me, I immediately took off work and went down to North Carolina the very next day. And this is gonna get me emotional.
It's okay.
Sorry. As she's telling me details, I can literally see her mind go somewhere else.
The details, too graphic to air.
She just slept in the bed with me. I held her. She'd wake up with nightmares multiple times during the night.
Both mother and daughter went to the police, who recorded a phone call with Rathnam that helped convict him. He had no idea he was being recorded and begged her not to tell.
I don't know what to tell you, except that it will be the end of everything for me.
It's been hard mentally more than anything.
Today, she struggles, including physically. She says the abuse was so bad she needed surgery and will need more.
That's another hurdle I'll have to go through, which the recovery is intense.
What makes it even just a little bit easier, she says, is knowing she got justice.
At the end of the day, he has to live with that. He has to live what he did to me.
She does too, but now wants to help other survivors.
I just hope it helps someone else who, is struggling with, coming out and telling what happened to them.
I just want to say hello, Pennsylvania, and I'm thrilled to be back.
President Trump in Mount Pocono, making the case he's working to lower costs, all while dismissing affordability as a Democratic issue.
They always have a hoax. The new word is affordability.
The president claiming Pennsylvanians in particular are prospering.
We're bringing prosperity and pride surging back to this magnificent Commonwealth.
It is so out of touch. He clearly doesn't talk to average everyday Pennsylvanians or average everyday Americans.
State Democrats and Governor Shapiro blasting the 90-minute rally-style speech.
Costs are rising because of those failed economic policies from the federal government.
But just go to the grocery store. All you have to do is go to the grocery store and see the rising prices.
Republican allies like Congressman Dan Muser defending the president.
When the president, by the way, states that the affordability is a hoax, what he means is that the idea that we or he has created the affordability crisis is as nonsensical as saying that the Republicans shut down the government.
But numbers show the percentage of Americans who approve of the president's economic policies is sinking. Polls show that he is underwater in terms of the approval rating for his economic policies. So what do you say to Pennsylvanians who are still concerned that their grocery bills, their electric bills are too high?
Don't watch network news. No, I'm kidding. What I'll say to them is that we inherited 20% increases and we have largely defeated inflation.
The governor also saying that what Trump said does not fully reflect what is happening here in Pennsylvania. If you did miss the full speech, we have it on our website, abc27.com. Valerie?